Hey there, YouTubers! Why, hello there! Dr. Sheep here. Happy New Year! Now, you're probably thinking, Doc, it's not New Year's yet. It's still, December 31st, 2018 for me. Well, it's still December 31st, 2018 for me, too. But not if you live in Samoa. See, I upload this at 11:45 Cha-Cham time, because they're 13:45. They're in the 13:45 time zone, and Samoa's in the 14 time zone, which means Samoa is the first place in the world to be in 2019. And since YouTube doesn't recognize that as a time zone for whatever reason, I had to upload it at 11:45. So in reality, yes, it is one of the first videos of 2019, but not exactly. If you lived in Samoa and pushed upload at midnight, you would get the credits and you'd have the first video of 2019 actually labeled as 2019. So props to them. However, why is it that you have 11:45 as a different time zone? Well, there are 27 international time zones. There are technically 24, but the international dateline produces 3 more. And there are 38 local time zones. Where is all this coming from? Why is this happening? Well, I'll explain that in the next scene on a map. But let's just really break down these time zones even more. The Earth has a circumference of 24,901 miles. If we divide that by 24, 1 for each hour of the day, you get each time zone at the equator will be 1,037.54 miles. Obviously, that distance gets shorter and shorter and shorter as you approach the poles, and technically approaching 0, but that's a calculus thing. If we divide by 60 to get minutes, and divide by 60 again to get seconds, every time you travel 0.288 miles east or west, you have to adjust your watch by a second. Now, I'll show you this on a scale later, but it's very interesting how you could just walk that distance or run that distance on your school track and be like, oh man, I gotta set my watch a second later. But it gets really interesting. Let me show you. Well, I don't know if you can hear me. It's pretty damn windy. There's cars everywhere, and I hate this. But we're on the flattest stretch of road, stretching east and west, that you can see for about a mile. So I'm waiting for this car to get a little further away. I'm going to turn it around. Turning. Now, you see that stretch of tree line? Basically the horizon, essentially. Well, no, not the horizon, but it'll be right before the horizon. I don't know if you can see it. But, there's a flashing red light down there. I don't know if you can see it. That's a mile away. That is 4 seconds of time zone away. That's a long ways. So if I would have him standing down there, which was the original plan, not anymore, but if he were to be down there, 4 seconds of time zone away, and you have to adjust his clock. But that's such a minuscule difference, and it takes so long to travel that distance anyways, that it really doesn't matter. Alright, welcome to my map. Let's just jump into things, shall we? As funny as this is, it's not funny for me. Alright, so the first place in the world to experience 2019 is in Samoa. Right there. The last place in the world to experience 2018 should be Cites Station in Alaska. Right there. You can see the international dateline. It takes a nice little triangle there. However, Alaska declares all of its Alaskan islands to be on one time zone, and that is the Hawaiian time zone, UTC minus 10. Cites Station should be UTC minus 13. But it's not. So the last place, by technicalities, is Baker and the Howland Islands. And they're UTC minus 12, and they're, I believe, somewhere in here. I'm not 100% sure. This map doesn't have them marked on my side. Now, we have UTC minus 12, we have UTC plus 12, but we also have a UTC plus 14. That's because of a little country called Kiribati, which is right here. Now this map is too old to show the international date line taking a big old triangle here, but it does now. And Kiribati switched over 2 whole time zones from UTC plus 12 to UTC plus 14. And so that's why you have 27 time zones instead of 24. This thing creates more time zones than there actually are. It's frustrating. But I leave it at that. Why, hello there. I have my fun fact book. I'm in my fun fact chair, which means it's time for a fun fact. I have a few fun facts. So U.S. railroads standardized time zones. But why? Well, originally each train station had a different time zone. As I stated earlier, every quarter mile you travel, or a little over, you have to adjust your clock by a second, if you really wanted to. Therefore, each train station had to account for that. However, this caused people to be late. It caused them to be confused as to when their train would show up and as to when it wouldn't. So they decided to just make a set blocks of time zones in the U.S. Most countries followed that, and so on and so forth. The next fun fact is the Earth spins at 1,037 miles, 0.5 mile. The Earth spins at 1,037.5 miles per hour. A jet made about 50 years ago called the Concorde travels at 1,350 miles per hour. It travels faster than the Earth can spin. Therefore, if you left London to go to New York, you would arrive in New York sooner than you left at London. So say you left at 6, you'd arrive at 4. Isn't that just fascinating? So most countries are split into different time zones, like the United States, Canada, and Russia. However, some countries just take that rule book and, well, not even a rule book, just take that and drop kick it out of here. China is one of those examples. They drop kick it and they're like, no, we extended at least 3 time zones, maybe even 4, but that doesn't mean anything. We're going to have 1 time zone. Oh boy, I don't even know where to begin with kind of problems it's going to create. Say you would tell somebody, you're on the coast of China, and you're like, talking to your friend who's 3,000 miles away, inland in China. You tell him, meet me for a video chat at sunset. So you're going to sit down your laptop, open it up at sunset. However, 3,000 miles away, it's not sunset. It's closer to noon than it is sunset. So they're going to be 3 hours late for you, even though you're both using the same time. The closest I can really show you that is by the central time zone, for example. I live on the eastern edge of the middle part of the central time zone. Or basically almost smack dab in the center of the central time zone. Really. And I drove to the far western edge and into mountain time here in the United States. And it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And the sun didn't seem to be in the right place. I was like, it's 4 in the afternoon. How is it, why is it where it is? Well, we were approaching the mountain time zone, which is probably another 10 miles away. I mean, 10 miles doesn't make a massive difference, even though it does. It's like a few seconds. But I mean, it makes a difference, 10 miles. But we were already several hundreds of miles away from home. So, I wasn't used to where the sun was. So the people that live on the borders of time zones could experience some interesting things when it comes to where the sun is. Because, I mean, on the other side of the time zone, the sun's already set. For you, it's still in the air, and you're just like, this is mildly upsetting. Anyways, that kind of thing is just amplified in China because it's a really wide time zone, per se. And so, it doesn't cause a lot of problems maybe in today's modern age, 'cause everybody's like, oh, meet me at this time, your time, or my time, or whatever. And that really doesn't matter. But if this were to happen back in the day, where everybody's like, yeah, meet me at sunset, wherever, I guess they had no way of talking. But if you use telegraph, send me a telegraph at sunset. You're not going to get that telegram or telegraph till 3 hours later than what you were expecting, or you're going to get it 3 hours earlier and you're just going to completely miss it. Well, it's the conclusion now, and let's break down what we talked about today. So essentially we talked about why there's so many more time zones than there need to be, and how actually a little over every quarter mile you have to adjust your clock by a second, because if you don't, you could run into problems like in China, where it technically spans 3 time zones, but they only have one. All these problems and things are basically fixed in the modern era, but back in the day, before time zones were standardized, it led into some drastic issues. But that doesn't matter in today's day and age. Happy New Year, and there will be another video coming out in, well, 24 hours from this one, but keep an eye out for that one. But in the meantime, I would like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and share. New videos every other Friday, but this is a special, and good night. Step 3. Maybe I should consult my book. Oh, hi there! Didn't see you there. Bet you didn't see me, because I know nobody's watching. Because I never want right now, like how to make money from YouTube. Yeah, you should totally subscribe, please, and check the playlist wherever it's gonna pop up. Jeez, this is getting awkward. Bye.